Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Also, check the last part of the video for you to know the next part or the next topic.
Good day, welcome to our math class. For today's topic, we have equations transformable to quadratic equations. Meaning to say, may mga equation na hindi pa siya quadratic equation but we are going to turn it into one. To further explain or understand what I am trying to say, so let's have an example. Our first example is m minus 3 squared plus m plus 2 squared equals to 8. Itong equation na to is not yet in quadratic equation since ang term natin or ang variable natin na m ay wala pang squared or wala pang exponent na 2. So we're going to change this whole equation into quadratic equation and make sure na naka-standard form siya. So to do that, we're going to do the FOIL method here and also here. And then after that, we're going to combine like terms and then simplify. So first, FOIL method, expand muna natin. We have m minus 3 times m minus 3. Lagyan natin ng bracket for groupings. Plus, expand din natin yung kabila. M plus 2 times m plus 2 equals to 8. So, pag in-expand natin tong m minus 3 squared, so ganito yung magiging itsura. Then, we have here plus, then m plus 2 squared, so ganito naman yung magiging itsura niya, and then equals to 8. Then, after that, let's do FOIL method. M times m, for the first terms, we have m squared. And then outer, m times negative 3, we have minus 3m. And then negative 3 times m, for the inner terms, we have negative 3m. Negative 3 times negative 3 for our last terms, we have plus 9. So after that, let's try to simplify also the other part. So don't forget to write plus and then do the FOIL method. M times m is m squared. Outer, m times 2 is equal to 2m. And then inner, 2 times m is equal to 2m. And then last terms, we have 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And then equals to 8. So medyo mahaba yung ating equation. But the next thing we need to do is to combine the like terms. Ngayon, kung titingnan nyo, so medyo madami yung nakikita nyong terms. Para hindi kayo malito, so try to encircle first yung terms na magkakapareho. So for example, so m squared and then m squared. So yan yung mga like terms natin. So ito yung una nating pagsasamahin. We have m squared and then plus m squared. We have 2m squared. Ngayon, dahil binalugan natin to and na-simplify na natin yan, makikita natin kung ano na yung mga natitira pa. So we have m. Yung may mga m naman ang pagsasamahin natin. So underline naman. So negative 3m and then another negative 3m, 2m and then another 2m. So we're going to combine all of them. So negative 3m minus 3m. So we have here negative 6m. So lagay muna natin negative 6m pag pinagsama tong dalawa. And then 2m plus 2m is equal to 4m. After that, combine pa natin tong dalawa. Negative 6m plus 4m will be negative 2m. So we are done with the variable with m. So bilugan ulit natin. And then kung mapapansin natin, ang natira na lang ay 9 and 4. And of course, we can still combine those. So 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. And then equals to 8. So ngayon, masimple na yung ating equation. But we are not yet done since we have still 8 on the right side. So we need to make it standard. So to make it standard, so kailangan 0 yung right side. And of course, kailangan descending order yung ating left side. So to make this 0, so we are going to subtract 8 both sides. 2m squared minus 2m plus 13 minus 8 is equal to 8 minus 8. So do it to the left, do it to the right. So cancel na to. Then we have 2m squared minus 2m. 13 minus 8 is 5 plus 5 equal to 0. So this will be our final answer. So now from here, so naging quadratic equation na siya. Since we have 2m squared, then minus 2m plus 5 equal to 0. Next example, we have 4 over x minus 5x over 3 equals to 2. This kind of equation is called rational equation. Ngayon, obviously, hindi natin nakikita yung quadratic term. But we can still transform this equation into quadratic equation. The question is, how are we going to do that? Kapag mayroon tayong rational equation, so ang una laging ginagawa is to find the LCD. The LCD is called or stands for least common denominator. So we have 3 and then x. So kukunin natin yung LCD. And how to do that? Most of the time, minumultiply yung denominator. So 3 times x is 3x. Therefore, ang ating LCD is 3x. After makuha yung LCD, we are going to multiply that to the whole equation. So we're going to multiply the whole equation by 3x since ito yung LCD na nakuha natin. Ngayon, we're going to multiply this by 4 over x. So we have 3x times 4 over x. And then we're going to put the answer here. And then 3x times 5x over 3. And then 3x times 2. We're going to do it one by one. Ang concern natin is how are we going to multiply 3x by a fraction. So, ganito po ang gagawin. So, ang technique dyan is divide, multiply. 3x divided by the denominator and then multiply by the numerator. So, that will be the answer. Let's try. 3x divided by x will be 3. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So, ulitin natin 3x divided by x is 3. And then 3 times 4, which is the numerator, so that will be 12. And then minus, again, divide by the denominator and then multiply by the numerator. 3x divided by 3 is x. And then times 5x, we have 5x squared. Ulitin natin. 3x divided by 3 is x. And then x times 5x will be 5x squared. And then equal to, since ito wala siyang denominator na given, so diretso natin na imumultiply yan. So we have 3x times 2 will be 6x. And then this will be our new equation. But we are not yet done since it's not yet in standard form. So what we're going to do is to make this 0 first. So to do that, we're going to subtract both sides by 6x. 12 minus 5x squared minus 6x is equal to 6x minus 6x. So cancel natin. So what will remain is 12 minus 5x squared minus 6x equals to 0. Still not yet in standard form. Well, equal to 0 na siya but hindi pa siya naka-descending order. So i-arrange muna natin. We have negative 5x squared for the quadratic term. And then isusunod natin yung linear term, yung may x lang, minus 6x, and then the last one will be the constant. Positive 12 yan, so therefore we're going to use plus 12 equal to 0. Therefore, our final answer is negative 5x squared minus 6x plus 12 equal to 0. But this one, we can still accept another answer since the quadratic term is negative. So we can make this quadratic term positive. So by multiplying everything by negative 1. So multiply everything by negative 1. So the answer will be, so negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 5x will be, let's just put it here, 5x squared. So it will become positive since negative times negative is positive. And then negative 1 times negative 6 is positive. So we have positive 6x, and then negative 1 times 12. So it will become negative 12. And of course, negative 1 times 0 will still be 0. So we have two possible answers here. So this one and this one. So nagkakaroon lang tayo ng two possible answers kapag yung lumabas na standard form ng quadratic equation ay negative yung quadratic term. So we're going to make it positive, or pwede natin siyang gawing positive. Or ang pinaka-shortcut dyan para mas madali, kung negative yung quadratic term, so just change the sign. So kung negative yan, so gawin yung positive, gawing positive, gawing negative. So you're just going to change the sign of everything. So that will be the answer. Our next example is 3 over m plus 1 plus 2 over m minus 2 equals to 4. Again, we have here a rational equation. So be familiar with the structure of rational equation. So meron siya kadalasan na polynomial, or yung meron siyang variable sa denominator. Okay, so here we are going to get the LCD first. Again, sabi ko nga, here we are going to get the LCD first. So again, like what I've said earlier, so most of the time you're just going to multiply the denominator so to get the LCD. So the LCD here is m plus 1 times m minus 2. So you're just going to simply multiply the denominator. And then after getting the LCD, so we are going to multiply that to the whole equation. So multiply the LCD to the whole equation. Our LCD again is m plus 1 times m minus 2. So we have here m plus 1 times m minus 2. Ngayon, wag nyo isi-simplify yung m plus 1 times m minus 2 as our LCD kasi baka mamaya i-FOIL method nyo. So wag muna. Kasi what we're going to do here is the cancellation method. So mas madali kasi nating i-simplify to kapag ginamit natin yung cancellation method. So again, m plus 1 times m minus 2, imumultiply natin yan here by 3 over m plus 1. And then m plus 1 times m minus 2 multiply by 2 over m minus 2, and then m plus 1 times m minus 2 multiplied by 4. So the first one is 3 over m plus 1. Gamitin natin yung cancellation method. Since we have here m plus 1, so we can cancel here m plus 1. Kasi pag binasa natin yan, it will be m plus 1 times m minus 2 divided by m plus 1. So kapag nire-write natin yan, it will become m plus 1 times m minus 2 over m plus 1. So ito yung magiging itsura niya. M plus 1 times m minus 2 divided by m plus 1. So ito yan. So we can cancel m plus 1 and m plus 1 since m plus 1 divided by m plus 1 is simply 1. So ang matitira dyan ay m minus 2. So that is cancellation method. Therefore, m plus 1 times m minus 2 divided by m plus 1 is simply m minus 2. Then after that, we're going to multiply it by the numerator. M minus 2 times 3 will be, or here in this case, dahil binomial yan, so ipakita muna natin yung itsura. So 3 times m minus 2. So ganyan muna. Wag muna natin simplify para makita natin later on kung ano yung maging itsura or maging sagot after multiplying this. And then plus, so again, we're going to multiply m plus 1 times m minus 2 and then multiply that by 2 over m minus 2. Let's use the cancellation method. So, cancel natin yung m minus 2 and then m minus 2. So, ang matitira ay m plus 1. So, we're going to multiply that by 2. So, we have 2 times m plus 1. And then here, since we don't have any denominator, so diretso natin na multiplication yan. So, we have 4 times m plus 1 times m minus 2. Okay, we are not yet done. So, medyo mahaba siya, but of course, we're going to do it one by one. Simplify natin ng dahan-dahan lang. We have here 3 times m minus 2. We have 3m. Distribution method po ang gagawin. So, 3 times m is 3m, and then 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So, we're done with this part. After that, another distribution method. So, 2 times m is 2m. And 2 times 1 is 2. So, we have plus 2. On the other hand, here on the other side of the equation, my recommendation is, so, use first FOIL method. So, unahin muna tong dalawang binomial. And then, set aside muna natin yung 4. So, let's copy 4 and then do the FOIL method. Don't forget to write the quantity. M times m is m squared. So, m times negative 2 for the outer is negative 2m. And then, 1 times m for the inner. So, simply m. So, hindi na natin kailangan ilagay yung 1. And then the last terms, 1 times negative 2. So that will be minus 2. Then don't forget to write the quantity. Then after that, balik muna ulit tayo dito sa left side. So let's try to combine the like terms. Again, bilugan ang mga like terms. So we have here 3m and then 2m. 3m plus 2m is 5m. Okay, next. We have negative 6 plus 2. We have minus 4. And then equal to, so since meron pa tayo ditong like terms, so i-combine muna natin. So copy muna yung 4 and then m squared. So negative 2m plus m. So it will become negative m minus 2. Next one, so since ito ay simplified already, hindi na natin pwedeng pagsamahin. I-copy muna natin 5m minus 4 and then distribute. So 4 times m squared, we have 4m squared. 4 times negative m is negative 4m. And then 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. We are almost done. The next part is to make the right side 0. Now, I'm going to teach you another technique. But technically, this is not correct. Pero para mas mapadali yung simplification natin ng equation, so pwede natin itong gawin. This is called transposition. So maybe you heard this before. So again, technically this is wrong. Pero mas mapapadali yung ating simplification. So to do this, ililipat natin ang kada term. So 4m squared, ililipat natin sa kabila. Yung negative 4m, ililipat sa kabila. And then yung negative 8 ay ililipat din natin sa kabila. The thing is, kapag naglipat tayo ng term, yung sign ay mababago. So for example, yung 4m squared nilipat natin sa kabila. So since positive to, yung 4m squared, kapag nilipat natin yan sa kabila, it will become negative. Same thing goes with the 4m or negative 4m. So since negative 4m to, kapag nilipat natin to sa kabila, it will become positive 4m. And negative 8, kapag nilipat sa kabila, it will become positive 8. So let's try to do this. I-rewrite muna natin yung 5m minus 4. And then, transposition. So 4m squared. So magiging minus 4m squared. Yung 4m will become plus 4m. And then yung negative 8 will become positive 8. And then equal to 0. Now, we have 5m minus 4 minus 4m squared plus 4m plus 8 equals to 0. We are not yet done since meron tayong mga like terms. So, check muna natin yung pinakamataas na exponent para yun na yung ilalagay natin agad para kapag tapos na nating i-combine yung like terms, naka-descending order na siya. So, we have here negative 4m squared. So, if we're going to observe, wala naman siyang kapartner or wala namang other like terms. So, simply bring down. We have negative 4m squared. After that is yung may m na variable. We have 5m and we have positive 4m. So, if we are going to combine them, so we will have 9m since 5m plus 4m is 9m. So, we are done with the variable with m. And last one are those with those numbers alone or constant. We have negative 4 and then positive 8. If we are going to combine them, negative 4 plus 8, we will have plus 4 and then equal to 0. And this will be our final answer. Again, our quadratic term is negative. So we still have another possible answer. So what we're going to do is to change all the sign. So the other possible answer is 4m squared minus 9m. From positive, we made it negative, and then plus 4, so it will become minus 4. So binago lang natin yung sign, and then equal to 0. So this is also an acceptable answer.